Ooh, Mega Pokemon are one of the strongest, if not the strongest Pokemon to use in Pokemon GO. So today we'll be checking out the top 10 best Mega Pokemon to power up in Pokemon GO. Alright, so hi to all of you guys. So yes, there are a few things I'd like to say before I bring my screen up. First of all, the list of Pokemon that I'm going to show you guys. They are ranked in the order of which are actually the most used for raids purpose. And second of all, they will only be shown only once in terms of their typing. So meaning if there are like two typings that are really good, example like Groudon and Garchomp, I will only talk about one, which is the top tier one, and wouldn't be talking about the second best, just to not show every I guess repeated typings. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and bring my screen up and show you guys that I'm on PokeBattler. Thank you very much, PokeBattler, for all the information. So we'll go under raids, we'll go under attacker, and we'll go under mega. Alright, so these are all the mega. So before we actually check it out though, you can read over here. It says the best overall attackers in Pokemon GO raids based on performance against all possible raids. Alright, points are assigned based on relative ranking performance and by tier of raid boss. So if you guys want more in-depth explanation, you guys can scroll all the way down past the 200 mark, and it shows over there. Attackers are aggregated using a ranking algorithm that gives points based on performance at level 40 with no friend or weather boost ordered by estimator. 5 points are given for the first place showing, 4 points for a second place, 3 points for a fourth, I guess also for a third place, 2 points for an 8th place and above before it hits 4th place, 1 point for a 16th place before it hits the 8th place also. Points are then weighted by the tier, 10 times for the tier 5 or mega, 4 times for tier 3 and 1 times for tier 1. So it's a rough estimate on which are the top tier Pokemon that we can use. So the first one you guys can see on the top is Mega Rayquaza with Dragon Tail and Dragon Ascent. However, you know, the moves that we want to use also depends on the situation that we are in, which Pokemon we want to fight. Example, we are fighting a Buzzwool, which is double weak to flying, or should I say even Virizion, which is also double weak to flying. That's when we want to use Mega Rayquaza with Air Slash and Dragon Ascent. So that's the first Pokemon that I'll be talking about, man. Rayquaza with Air Slash and Dragon Ascent. If you guys haven't gotten yourself one yet, I'll really recommend to actually trade from a friend. Of course, if you have not gotten one registered to your Pokédex yet, try to get to best friend with your friend, and then after register to your Pokédex, it will cost a lot cheaper, 25 times cheaper as compared to 1 million Stardust. Alright, so that's what I will recommend to do. Of course, when Mega Rayquaza comes, do raid quite a bit for it because it's the best Dragon type and also the best Flying type attacker in the game with Dragon Ascent. Of course, you need to get a Meteorite to actually use on it to get Dragon Ascent, otherwise you won't be able to use it at all. So the second Mega Pokemon that we'll be looking at is Primal Groudon. So Primal Groudon with Mud Shot and Precipice Blade is being used in a lot of situations. Pokemon such as Hitran, such as anything that is double weak to ground, you guys will see Primal Groudon coming into play. Even against like the Regirock, Registeel, those are the ones that are also weak to ground, fighting, and maybe even other typings. But Primal Groudon normally would be ranked very, very high, or should I say even number 1 when used in those situations. So I really recommend getting yourself a Primal Groudon if you guys haven't gotten that yet. Alright, with Precipice Blade, you have to get the signature move Precipice Blade. It really makes a huge difference with and without the Precipice Blade. Next Pokemon we'll be looking at is Mega Tyranitar with Bite and Brutal Swing. It is technically ranked number 3 in terms of the overall best Mega to get. And you have to get the one with Bite and Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing is a move that you can just charge TM for. You do not have to use the Elite Charge TM. That is a very, very good thing. So get the Mega Tyranitar, the one with Bite and Brutal Swing, and you guys will see it being used in a lot of situations, especially even against Mega Mewtwo. The fourth Mega Pokemon that we'll be looking at is Mega Diancie with Rock Throw and Rock Slide. It's the #1 Rock type attacker in the entire game, and I really recommend to get this one, especially since you guys can get it for free from the special research during the event itself. So Rock Throw, Rock Slide is the #1 attacker, and there's no other Rock type that will beat this in terms of DPS. And the fifth Mega Pokemon that we'll be looking at is Mega Gengar. Mega Gengar with Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball. It is a crazy glass cannon. It's so glassy that usually it just gets taken out very quickly, especially if you're fighting against Mewtwo or maybe in the future Mega Mewtwo. Of course, I've used it a few times to fight Shadow Mewtwo, but it's really glassy with Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball. But still, it hits really hard, especially as a Ghost type attacker, so I really recommend to get this one. Now the next Pokemon we'll be looking at is Mega Rayquaza once again, however as a Dragon typing attacker. You guys can see that it's recommended to use Dragon Tail and Breaking Swipe. However, Outrage in certain situations it will also be good. So if you already have one with the Dragon Ascent, with the fast move being swappable, you can just change, if you want to use it as a Dragon type attacker, Dragon Tail, Breaking Swipe, that's the one that you will use as a Dragon type attacker. And then if you want to use it as a Flying type attacker, that's when you can change the fast move again to use it with Air Slash and Dragon Ascent. So you can change that anytime you want, as long as you have access to fast TMs. So that's that as a strong, or should I say the #1 Dragon type attacker. Now the next Pokemon that we'll be looking at is Primal Kyogre as #6 with Waterfall and Origin powers. It's a Pokemon that I would really recommend to get, as in a lot of situations when the Pokemon is really weak to water or even ground, usually Primal Kyogre will deal more damage than the Primal Groudon itself. So I would really recommend to get Primal Kyogre, as it's literally the #1 water type attacker in the entire game. The next Mega Pokemon we'll be looking at is the Hoenn Fire Starter Pokemon, and that is Mega Blaziken with Fire Spin and Blast Burn. So it's a Pokemon that I really recommend to get, as it's a very strong, in fact the strongest Fire type Mega Pokemon in the game with Fire Spin and Blast Burn. However, in order to get Blast Burn, it's a Community Day move, and you either have to use an Elite Charge TM on it or wait for an event to come. And now we'll be checking out the best Fairy Mega Pokemon, and that is Mega Gardevoir with Charm and Dazzling Gleam. So it's over here, and with Charm and Dazzling Gleam, it is the #1 Mega to use as a Fairy type attacker, and there are not many strong Fairy type attacker that can Mega out there. In fact, basically Mega Gardevoir is #1. And now the next Hoenn Mega Starter Pokemon to look at is the Grass typing Mega Sceptile with Bullet Seed and Frenzy Plant. It's literally the #1 Grass type attacker in the entire game, especially once you Mega it, it actually turns from a Grass Pokemon to a Grass and Dragon typing Pokemon, making it a very interesting typing, especially if you're fighting against a Water type Pokemon. It, instead of just single resisting water, it becomes double resisting water. So it becomes really good with Bullet Seed and Frenzy Plant. It's a Community Day move also, and I would really recommend to get this if you're able to. So now that we are done looking at all the top 10 Mega Pokemon to prepare, or are we? No, we are not done yet. There's one more Mega that's not on the list, and that is Mega Mewtwo. Mega Mewtwo hasn't been released into the game yet. However, this is the one that I really recommend to get, because it will be the top tier, at least the top 3 in terms of using it as a Mega attacker in a lot of situations. Like I said, this ranking goes in accordance to what's available in raids and what Pokemon would be used more frequently than others, and hence why certain Pokemon like Mega Rayquaza is ranked higher than certain, or even Mega or Primal Groudon is ranked higher than Primal Kyogre, etc. Mega Mewtwo, I think it will rank at least top 3. Might even be below of Primal Groudon, alright, but we will see how, if it's the case, because it depends on what Pokemon will also be released, and the rankings will change accordingly. Alright, so Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y. Mega Mewtwo X is a Psychic and Fighting type Pokemon. If you want to use it as a Fighting type Pokemon, I wouldn't recommend, because in the future, the #1 Mega Fighting type Pokemon is going to be Mega Lucario. Right now, I would just recommend to get a Side Strike and Shadow Ball on it, using it as Mega Mewtwo Y, and it will be a pure Psychic type Pokemon, but you'll still do an insane amount of damage, even with a Ghost type, non-step, same type attack bonus move. Alright, so those are the top 10 Mega Pokemon to actually prepare, man. If you guys have not prepared yourself any of this, definitely start preparing it. You guys can actually start trading from your friends to get yourself a hundo, a good IV1. And then when an event comes, you guys can either get the signature move from them when you evolve them during the community days, etc., or even basically elite charge TM if you guys want to. Some of them that you need to elite charge TM are basically like Mewtwo or even a Kyogre or even Groudon. Everything else you can technically evolve to get them unless you are really lucky enough to actually get some of those signature moves during the raid period when they are available too. Alright, so that's it from me, man. If you guys enjoyed this video and found this video useful, definitely remember to leave a like on the video. Be much appreciated. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode in the next video. Alright, it's time to say goodbye. So goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.